another episode RSL Random Fan Podcast. Coming to you live on tape or whatever it is. Live studio audience? Mm-hmm. No. Oh, that's one of the things we're going to have this year, right? We're going to work on a live studio audience.
Yeah, we've been working on them. They're coming strong.
Honey, come in here. Get our wives in here to look at us and
that'd make things really weird.
Side eye. So anyway, new episode. It's December. We're getting close to Christmas, right? Everybody's ready for Christmas?
Dialed in.
Mm-hmm.
Raise your hand if you're ready.
I don't know if they can hear that.
I don't got money for presents,
listening
so
to the podcast.
Not ready. So some of the big things that everybody wants to talk about is the RSL schedule dropped.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, wait. Or was it supposed to be like boing, like it bounced or something?
It dropped.
We dropped it.
It's the smash. I think that's the theme. RSL has a big theme. They're going to smash 2025. I don't know if you've seen that
Oh, yeah.
It's like the broken screen.
on the interwebs. Yeah.
But also, I'm hoping so much that they use the color scheme of that broken cracked screen and we get a black jersey come spring.
Whoa.
Black jersey with yellow.
That's a great idea.
It's what they released it on. And then they also kicked out this red one just to throw us off. But yeah, the yellow jersey's gone. The pyrite is gone.
Yeah.
Aww. It's been one of the better jerseys.
Yeah,
Although I didn't mind last year's with the stripes and the mountain.
It's kind of busy though.
Nice.
I mean, but cool.
Yeah, I wasn't going to drop $400 for how much the kits cost.
That's for two, yeah. It's like $175 unless you want it engraved.
Engraved. It's made out of copper or whatever. Actual copper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then they'll put a copper engraving on it. Okay, it's just yellow, but still. Yeah.
Yeah, great idea.
So,
Get it engraved for $20 more. And it's
schedule came out.
$200.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Schedule came out yesterday.
Dun, dun, dun. In conjunction with Major League Soccer, we also like today unveiled its complete 2025 MLS schedule with the big news, Brandt.
Which one? San Jose?
No, the second line.
The Royal Caribbean.
It's this one right here.
No, I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to have. We're not injecting humor.
Do you know what?
We're
do you know what-
setting
We're not
you up,
injecting
Brett.
humor into this episode.
Do you want us to
This
tell
is
the
serious.
jokes?
Okay, we'll set it up.
we'll
set it up.
we'll
You
tell the
guys,
joke.
let's see if you can
Okay,
this
is
can
my
pull it
turn.
off.
Ready?
All right.
Ready? Messi in Salt Lake? Ha! Nope.
See, that's why we didn't want to do the joke.
Is that a joke or just a comment? I don't know what to. How do I react to that? That's really Write a better joke. Come on,
man,
deliver it better, Brennan. How about this? Hey guys, is Messi coming to Salt Lake? No. Dang it, that's not better. You're right.
No, it's kind of like,
on,
hey, let's
deliver
take a
it.
look. Let's see
Deliver
Not
this.
the
Let's
delivery.
see when Lionel Messi, the greatest player to ever live, drops
not be
by
coming to Utah.
Salt Lake City. Will he be in Utah? No,
No.
he won't. He won't be.
Nope.
He will not be. Everybody and their dog looked, though, right? That's the
Everybody was
first
like,
thing,
okay, where's
where
Miami?
is- He is never, ever coming to Utah.
And he's never ever getting back together.
Never, ever, ever.
Getting back together.
So,
But we do get
season's
some
done.
Eastern Conference teams. We get DC United. They seem to like to come here because we don't have raccoons in our stadium. Anymore, except that one that fell on Brennan that one time.
that was fun.
We get, is St. Louis in the East anymore? Nashville's not coming. They're not a home game. They're an away game. We go to Nashville.
Well, the first game is in Costa Rica.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
preseason.
Yeah. Well, not preseason, but the
yeah,
CONCACAF Champions Cup, February 19th. It's like 2019. No, February 19th, RSL goes down to Costa Rica to play Herediano.
Wow. You
Eh,
said
oh.
that. Try to say it more gringo. Try it again.
Herediana.
Nope.
Female.
Herediano.
It's a male. It's a male
Herediano.
team.
How's
Not
that?
a female.
That's way better, dude. You totally
Herediano.
nailed it. Yeah. Herediano. And they are a Costa Rican team. And they might sound familiar because they were the last Costa Rican team that Real Salt Lake played.
Yeah, in 2012. I pulled up the old info because this is the fourth time RSL has played in this tournament. The first time, 2011, went to the final. Second time, they ended up making it, I think, out of the group stage and then losing. But I wanted to read this. Arellano's insistence on sitting back on its heels and a penchant for flopping in the second half left Salt Lake players. This is from Fox Sports. Coaches
from back then.
Frustrated. Yeah, it's a standard when you play these teams. RSL midfielder Will Johnson said.
Johnson sounds
diving, time wasting. You know exactly what you're going to get. They think that it's a good way to play. The names in here were just hilarious. Or for me, it's ugly, Christ said. It's not what this sport is about. The referees need to be smart enough to say, we're going to add on time. So it sounds like, actually,
because I think we tied them, right? 0-0.
Arellano came in here and beat us 1-0. And then the follow-up game was in Costa Rica, and they just parked the bus.
And
they actually brought out a bus and put it in front.
And then they were like, you got to get that off before we start the game. And they're like, fine. So they just put it behind the goal, but they still parked the bus.
They made it really difficult, obviously, in the second half, Price said. Literally 11 players almost in the penalty box. It's always going to be difficult to score when you're playing an opponent like that. So there was not good feelings. And I'm sure all of this will just boil on over to this series.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to remember.
Yeah,
they're going to remember. Christ is probably like
only
talking
been 12
to him.
years.
Yeah, it's only been 12 years. I mean, that's not long enough. I mean, we know how.
I mean, that's a legacy that we got to break right there.
That's where grudges.
Yeah.
There's a grudge.
It's a big game. Big game.
And then the other time the RSL played in CONCACAF, they lost.
Well, we're really starting out with a positive outlook on this, aren't we?
It was 2016. They made it through group stage, and then Tigres knocked them out.
Oh, Tigres.
So
that was 16?
16, yeah.
Who was the coach then?
Tigres was good that year, though.
What?
Was that Petke?
Was Petke 16?
Well, we did play Tigres with Petke, and that's the game he got fired from. With the gato. Yeah. And then the other
I knew that sounded
naughty
familiar.
word. I didn't say the naughty word. I said gato. That means cat, just to be clear, in case you don't.
I don't think anybody
Espanol.
listening to this podcast is ever going to think gato is something bad.
Well, Petke called the ref that word over and over and over and over. So I wasn't being funny and interjecting that word.
It was are you talking about the F word in?
No, it's
the
P
slur,
word,
the homosexual slur.
The P word.
Yeah, in Spanish.
Yeah. So,
that one.
And he called him that all the way into the locker room
and then
into
he
the refs
wrote
room.
it down and slid it
wrote it down. Yeah.
And then he made a flag and he printed off a bunch of flyers and I don't know if he did.
He had Trey at the printer. Trey, fire up the printer. P. U.
Yep. Nope. Don't do that.
No. So back to the schedule. But we do start off with Arellano on February 19th with a follow-up with them at home February 26th. But the first RSL game is February 22nd, so sandwiched in between those two games. That's a really tough game. In a week, 3 games in a week to start the season. But that's what you do when you're champions.
When you're successful.
When you're winners. That's what you want.
Yeah,
we're going to play some San Jose, some high-quality San Jose Quakes. Didn't they say that they were also looking to sell as well? San Jose?
It's been like a...
It's like a never-ending
thing. The Whitecaps are for sale now.
The Whitecaps are, but I thought San Jose...
Nash's team.
Something was up with San Jose.
San Jose's had like a yard sale.
Yeah, they went through quite a bit.
They have, if you go by the stadium and they got their players out there just standing.
Dude, yeah.
Take this guy and
this one home.
This 8-track player.
And some old golf clubs. All for $30.
And a whole lamp. So, yeah, they've had, I'm sure there's going to be tons of turnover there. But
people like to play for Bruce Arena, and he's the new coach there, so he'll probably be able to recruit pretty well. But there was a little bit of controversy last time Bruce was on the pitch, and you never know. You never know what could transpire. So.
Well, RSL will welcome him back to Major League Soccer.
Oh, yeah, that's right. His first game is against us, but it's there at PayPal Park.
And then in March...
We're going to have 5 games in March, it looks like.
Yeah, well, Seattle's another home game. We got 2 home games in March. Well, 3 in March.
Why are we playing so many home games in March?
I don't know. I do not know.
They want another snow game. That's what they want.
Bunch of snow games.
They want that orange ball to come out.
2 February games.
The way this has been going this winter, it's going to be at the back end, right?
Yeah, the whole world's changing,
Yeah, that's how we do.
So 3 home games in March. You got Seattle, who will also be in Champions League, Champions Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And then the new team, San Diego, Jasper Loffelson, we just can't get rid of him. He's just going to come back.
He's going to be here.
Keep coming back. And then
He's
Houston,
like a boomerang.
And then FC Dallas. I heard a rumor. I was talking to a friend that's a Seattle fan, and he says they're talking about going after their main striker down there, the guy I dislike.
The Ferreira?
Yeah.
They're going to go after Ferreira in Seattle?
That's what he was saying.
So they're going to have Fruit Snack and Ferreira, huh?
That's what I heard.
Wow. Who is organizing that talent?
Jordan
pool
Morris.
Right there.
Yeah.
They're going to give up Fry for
Craig
that? I mean,
Weibel.
that seems
Craig
pretty
Weibel.
smart, right? Get rid of the goalie for the striker?
There's a lot of rumors swirling around. Leo Campana from Miami is going up to New England.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that on MLS?
Before we get too far away, Mr.
Tom Bogert.
Let's not jump around.
Well, it's not jumping around. That was right on line with
we're
what
sticking
you were
with our
saying.
sales schedule.
Well,
Yeah,
we can
Seattle
edit
acquiring
this. That's
people.
totally fine.
yeah,
He can edit this. Yeah. He'll edit it.
What's the timestamp?
It's
No, I was just going to say RSL first February and March, quite the schedule.
Right. That was really, yes.
Because there's some tough teams in March.
Great.
Seattle, Houston, Dallas, Minnesota.
Well,
all teams that are very competitive with Real Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Seattle's always going to be our little hiccup. San Diego is going to be interesting because we want to see what that new team looks like. Are they going to be like St. Louis? You know, how they came out really guns a-blazing. But they also didn't have the stipulation of only 5 players.
And it's in the bylaws, the Major League Soccer bylaws, that
They're more like
Real
guidelines,
Salt
really.
Lake, guidelines. The Real Salt Lake is supposed to give all of the expansion teams their first victory.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Minnesota, Atlanta.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, another good
St.
joke
Louis.
right there. So
Yeah.
that's 2. So that's Missy.
It's all in the delivery,
Park
folks.
the bus.
It's all in the
And then,
delivery.
how did you word that one so I can write it down?
You'll just
gotta
have
pay
to go
attention.
back and listen to it.
Yeah.
I did hear a funny joke.
Is it about
The moth joke.
Klitsch?
Norm MacDonald, hilarious guy.
Norm MacDonald?
Yeah, about the moth joke.
What's the moth joke?
There's a moth, and he went to. Oh, never mind.
That's the moth joke?
No, he's talking
That's
about this
horrible.
moth joke that had some feet problems, so he ended up going to the doctor. And the doctor was like optometrist, right? He goes, "So why don't you say you got feet problem? Why don't you go talk to the
Foot doctor.
the foot doctor, podiatrist?" And I said, "Well, your light was on."
That was better than I was expecting.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I'm no Norm MacDonald, that's for sure.
All right.
So
fun, exciting schedule at the beginning, and then we get into our normal things. You know, more normal teams.
well, we get San Diego twice. We're done with San Diego. Looks like by April. You got the Galaxy, the champion Galaxy coming in, or we got Galaxy, and then Nashville, and Toronto, and San Diego. Could be Toronto and San Diego, though they're not expected to be great teams. Vancouver in May, another Dallas, Portland, Colorado, Vancouver, up for sale. Get your lottery tickets in, so maybe you can buy the club. Austin and the Galaxy again. June, DC United, LAFC, Kansas City. July, St. Louis, Houston, Portland, Cincinnati, San Jose again. August, Red Bull, MLS Cup runner-up. Charlotte, Minnesota, Seattle again. September, Kansas City, LAFC, Austin. And October, last home game is Colorado. And then our final game of the season is at St. Louis. So,
And then what's November going to look like for us this year? And what's December going to look like for us? What's your expectations?
Oh,
Let's
boy.
write some down here real quick, since we're on the topic of schedule.
No, when I look at the schedule, the reason I like to go through it because I like to try and
I hope these guys like to go through it because
take a quick look and see what does it feel like. Is it going to be what months are going to be tough, and then
put it on your fridge.
I think it's there isn't any. There's a couple of gimmies right off the bat, but you never know. Is Austin going to be better? Who's going to struggle? That kind of stuff. But we're done. We don't have to talk about it anymore. I read them all.
No.
I read them all.
Okay, I know, but hey, let's make it more interesting.
Okay.
Like,
what's interesting?
what team do you feel is going to come out and give us the most headache this year? Out of all these new teams.
I think we're gonna take Houston. I think Karaskia
Was kind of like our guy?
Was the guy, and he's we're gonna best him this year. Our young bucks in the central midfield are gonna own him because he doesn't have Herrera behind him. So I think we're going to start taking over Houston, where they've owned us in the past.
Yeah. Isn't Carrasquilla headed out somewhere?
I thought he was.
He could be.
Yeah, and also Ache's gone.
That's who I'm talking about, Hector Herrera, right? Mm-hmm. He's gone, and I think he was the biggest problem for us.
Yeah, he really knew how to clog up that midfield, and since we're running the double pivot, I mean that's like our backbone.
Yeah, and he was good at with his experience, and he's gone, which is fantastic. Andale muy bien, amigo.
So Houston, we're going to own them.
Ciao. Yeah, that's
my
big.
Who do you think is the biggest threat? Do you think Galaxy's going to come back and still be a threat without Puig?
They're going to have a lot of the same team, so I think they are. I think they're still going to be the team to be reckoned with. Mm-hmm. But this year, we're going to see them coming. You know what I mean?
We're going to have that expectation.
Yeah, LAFC was the team the last couple years, now Galaxy are kind of. I think everybody's going to kind of put out their best stuff for the Galaxy, kind of a thing.
I can see that.
Try to take out the champ.
What about you, Happy Pants?
I'm curious to see how Seattle will do. Just like the Galaxy, they finished incredibly strong at the end of the season. So I'll be curious to see whether or not that plays over, rolls over into this season. LAFC, which direction are they going? They were the defending MLS Cup champion and did not. Well, they had spurts where they were really good, but they also had some. They bombed out of the playoffs, and we'll see. I think Houston and Dallas might be, and Minnesota, teams that have been incredibly competitive with us. We'll see what direction are they going, and will RSL? We finished third, right?
Yeah.
Where are we going to go higher, or which teams are coming up? Which teams are going to struggle?
Yeah.
St. Louis, are they going to turn it around? Where they were a fluke. They've struggled the last couple of years. So I think those might be the teams. Portland kind of finished a little bit strong, but they're a little iffy. I would think that Seattle, Portland, Dallas, Houston, Minnesota, are those the clubs going to be fighting for third or
so they're the ones on the
sixth?
rise, you think?
I think those are the ones. I'm just looking at the schedule right off the top of my head. I think those are the ones that are going to be interesting, all in the mix.
Yeah. So for me, I think that Austin might be the team that's going to have some spurts. That since they got rid of Wolf and they're going to come in with a new system.
I think that's nuts, dude.
You really think so?
I just think no, not that you're nuts. I think it's nuts, the coaching carousel thing. Josh Wolf was the bomb when you brought him in. He's the top guy. He's everything you always wanted in a coach, and he has a good year, and then he has a bad year, and now he's out. Well, you kind of have to hold it to that standard. If you're gonna not
say
in MLS, bro, not in MLS,
what I'm saying. But
right?
that's holding on to the fact that you are putting us lesser.
You're out.
So if we're
unless there's other problems, which I get that.
Maybe some behind the scenes stuff. Right? You know what I mean? Maybe he's a Man City fan.
Right.
That's probably
that makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of fans, I think we kind of glossed over this one, but the Whitecaps are for sale. Steve Nash, right, is part of that ownership group, but he's in there with a bunch of 60, 70-year-old dudes. And they're all wanting to liquidate and get out. So there is the threat that it could leave Vancouver because also their lease on the stadium's up next year. So they're
I forgot about that.
We're kind of getting out. In Canada, the rules are different about government assistance and who owns what and where teams play. And the rules are a little different. It's Canada.
Hey.
Well, yeah. I mean, Vancouver... It could be gone out of there, but I think it would still stay a Canadian team. I don't think Canada wants to eliminate a Canadian team out of the MLS.
Yeah, but where are you going to go in Canada? Edmonton?
Quebec?
No.
You never know.
You're already there.
Well, you never know.
Montreal?
Don't they have we have one?
Yeah, Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver. That's it.
And they got rid of that. Oh, sorry, Key.
Thanks for that yawn insight.
I'm sorry.
Man.
Man.
If you're going to yawn, at least don't start yawning. Man, how old are we?
So much
fun right now.
Yeah, they canned their coach, and so now.
Well, I think he flipped him off on the way out.
So, he seems like the kind of guy that would, right?
Yeah.
And then anything else on that? I was just go over the preseason that starts real quick.
Yeah. We're in Phoenix. Is that where it is?
We're in Phoenix?
Are we going to Phoenix for preseason?
No,
I thought we were going out of the
down
country.
to California, like your Coachella, the Coachella event.
Coachella?
Billie
Yeah, really.
Eilish is going to be there?
No, really.
Is that what that means?
14
I don't know what
MLS clubs
Coachella
participating in the 2025 Coachella Valley Invitational.
Oh, I thought Coachella was like a bag name for.
Oh, no,
old
it's a
ladies.
Location. It's a location. Okay. It's also a famous
festival.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Coach. I was thinking Coach. Okay, carry on.
So Austin, Charlotte, Chicago, LA, LAFC, Minnesota, New York, Red Bull, NYCFC, Portland, RSL, San Diego, San Jose, St. Louis, and Sporting Kansas City, all down there at the event.
Wow.
Starting in February 5th. We're only 22 days away from preseason.
Ooh.
So it's coming fast. And then they've got, if you go to Real Salt Lake's website, they have all the games. And then I think the winner gets to host a trophy. I don't know. And then Champions League starts February 19th, like we talked about. So, yeah, exciting times. The season is going to be here before you know it.
Crazy.
Get your kits in. You know
Let's
what I mean?
do it, yeah.
Let's do it. So, anything else on the schedule?
No.
We can.
It's going to happen, baby.
Did you guys see that no one got taken on the expansion draft?
I can't believe Matt Crooks did not get taken. That is crazy.
There also could have been lots of side deals and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, dude, there's more than just picking your favorite player.
Well, let's talk about that.
It was kind of funny that not a lot has happened on that front, right? Like
nothing big moves.
Yeah,
No, it's just. Well, you think about it. That big of a club coming in, spending that much money. What is it? $400 million now to add it
just to get a team.
Just to get in. They probably are coming in with a game plan, players already set. Those 5 players that they're going to get from everywhere else, it's kind of just like, hey, let's get them, then we'll move them around.
They drafted really poorly. Like, for the people that were out there, at the prices they were available at, go get a veteran guy that can step on the ball and turn and pass the ball. And,
this brings up a great thing. So what you just said, the way you are thinking right now, this is what I love.
Yeah.
That's old MLS. And I am so over old MLS. And I don't mean you're old. What I mean is...
It's okay, I am old.
What I mean is the way that we are perceiving the league and what is going on, we are using the past as a way of understanding what's going to happen. But LA won the final. You're starting to see all these slightly washed up, talented players come in. That's enticing younger players to come into MLS. And now we are holding a higher standard on what style of play is going to happen. And if you're going to be a brand new team coming into this new movement of a league, don't go in there with, back in the day, this is what they did. We would need this person. No, we're going to create our own identity. We're going to be this brand new team, and we're going to be successful.
Yeah,
and
you think San Diego's going to do that?
I think if they have the financial backing, their location can allow it.
Yeah.
California, Miami, maybe Texas. I mean, Texas is hard. New York could possibly do it. But location to get that kind of result.
But also, like, you have to have a cool style of play because the first thing you want to do as a team is win. And you know you can't win every game. Everyone knows that. You can't win every home game.
You're an Arsenal fan. Yeah, you can.
No, you can't. Even Arsenal can't.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. It was like 40% draws.
Yeah. I mean, so we know that you can't win in sports, and both teams want to win. So the second most important thing is that you're entertaining. You're fun to watch. That's why Nashville canned their coach after giving up one of the best defensive years in the league, right? Is because they couldn't score, and the fans just kind of sit there when you play good defense, which sucks, but that's sport. It's entertainment. If we don't have players taking people on, being aggressive, trying to do something cool. We used to sit in the stands next to each other and be like, do something cool. Like anything. Like at least try. Don't just keep passing it back. Like that gets old so fast. So I'm with you on the be entertaining side because I think San Diego is going to take a while to get to MLS Cup, right? Like,
I mean, MLS
years.
Cup, no, but
right?
Playoffs, yes.
So in the meantime, be entertaining, be fun, put guys out there that are willing to take on other players, right? Sign that kind of young player talent, and we're getting them popping up in the league. Like they're coming in across the league, and I think we're as a league getting better at that.
You also have to have a story.
Yeah.
Right.
That helps,
what is the narrative? Expansion is always fun. RSL came in, they struggled a few years, but once they figured out who they were, created a culture, those Jason Kreis years were, Camelot, it feels like, in a lot of ways. It was, especially the farther away you get, it gets even better and better, the memories. But we went through a period where it was just awful, like you were saying. The Freddie Juarez teams were, the short period he was
Jeff
coaching.
Cassar,
it was just
That's when I didn't watch.
terrible.
This is when you stopped watching.
We went to almost all the games, home games, and I don't think I cheered for 2 seasons.
Well, it's because Deloy was all about breaking even or making money and trying to get players on the cheap. He'd try to negotiate the crap out of players. And instead of just paying what the going market rate was, he tried to talk people down. And, I mean, we've talked on this podcast multiple times about, like, the insight Andy Williams had and how they were going to sign guys that ended up in the Premier League. And Deloy wouldn't negotiate $50,000 worth of negotiation. He's like, that guy can, And it ended up biting Deloy because, he's used to running construction companies, and that didn't work out. And Making of the Moment podcast is kind of a cool one out there. If you want to go catch up on that story and you didn't get the full thing, you can go listen to that.
Amy Donaldson's, it's a great.
Yeah, she does a good job. There was a couple times I got annoyed by she got kind of long-winded in her questions, and I was like,
oh, that's terrible. I hate when they do that. I hate when people are long-winded. And she had great introductions, though. You don't want to have a podcast with horrible introductions.
No. Yeah, she should have done better introductions as well. But if you're a Real Salt Lake fan, you're probably listening to it, and you probably don't need introductions. But going back to Jason Kreis was going to come back with Deloy before. And he and Deloy had this negotiation. He had the job to come back as the GM. And then they were like, we're going to go in a different direction. Like, he started telling people. Yeah. Like, it was starting to leak in the media. And then all of a sudden they're like, nope, we're going in a different direction. Because Deloy found he could save some money. That's the bottom line. Like, Jason didn't say that, but that's the bottom line.
Yeah, I listened to it. It's a really great podcast. It was really interesting because it was interesting her perspective as not... She's a sports reporter, but didn't come off as like a Real Salt Lake fan. Right. So it was like someone that was just new to the situation, trying to ask the questions. So it was an interesting perspective, but a really enjoyable podcast.
Yeah.
So
a little bit of insight. I'd say about 10 or 15% insight. If you're a Real Salt Lake fan, that's about what you're going to get.
You learned some new things. I thought the Jason Kreis stuff was really interesting. That he had the job and he went back and told people, "Hey, I'm leaving. Yeah, let's start selling our house." And then they call him up. Oh, you thought we offered you a job? We were just seeing if you would take a job. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
So this part of this is having a story, having a narrative, having a culture, and I think RSL is on the cusp of getting to some really incredible culture and atmosphere and love for the team, because it can go away really quick. And if you don't have that culture, if you don't have that connection with the fans, when you don't win, it just cascades. Just builds up on itself, and you can really have some terrible times. And it's hard to get out of those. And it's all part of sport. Look at New England, the Patriots. I go back to those guys all the time. But they were on top of the league for a couple of decades, and now...
Yeah. Well, and it's a little different in the NFL because you get one quarterback, and he has such an influence on the whole team that Mahomes is going to make Kansas City good for a long time. And that's just going to be how it is until that guy either gets really hurt or gets too old, right? And those two things kind of, you get this cool run in sports. You don't get it for a long, long time. Most of the time, New England's had more than their fair share, and now they're going through the...
Well, even the Galaxy, they've struggled for...
Yeah.
They struggled. So
it was a 10-year drought for them, too, right? I mean,
yeah. It's just really cyclical. Sports are cyclical. But the more you connect with your fans, the more you connect with the team, and the more you have a story and the narrative, the easier it is for fans to stick with you as they grow. As far as the expansion went, I thought it was really interesting. Some of the names, Matt Crooks. If this had been another expansion draft, I might have been worried. But when they're only picking 5,
yeah, it's so weird that it's only 5 this year. That's crazy.
So there wasn't any heartburn, but it was fascinating that some of the players that were left. The big ones were Matt Crooks and Tomas Gomez. No. Matt Crooks and
Kevin Lambert.
Nope. Lachlan Brooks.
Lachlan Brook and Zach McMath. Those three kind of, I was like, that's our starting goalkeeper, guys.
Yeah. But who knows if they had conversations.
Right? Like, you never know. Lachlan Brook, Crooks, and Zach McMath, to me, were 3 guys I was like, oh.
And in the expansion draft, if you didn't know, weren't paying attention, San Diego picked up
Heine
Brusteth from Orlando SC.
His name's Heine. Sorry. Jasper Loffelson, like we talked about.
U22, Jasper Loffelson, who is probably going to go in. He's played for some quality sides. Maybe
27,
Maybe he's a culture guy.
Maybe.
How do you become a professional, a young guy be a professional? Yep. Could be a great example. And Hamadi Diop from Charlotte.
Nobody's really seen play. Hasn't done much. And then Thiago Andrade, who's from New York City. It's kind of been a little bit overvalued. He was a MLS super draft pick, but he's kind of had a little bit of the ups and downs throughout his career. Decent Brazilian winger. Could be on the verge of breaking out. I think he's 20...
24?
24?
No.
22?
He's a young kid, number 9 overall.
He was... Yeah. Anyway, he could be something cool. And Jose, which sounds like a Hispanic guy, but it's spelled Hosei. Kijima. Yep. Sounds more
They got him from St. Louis. They traded him to DC United, and they picked up $650,000 in...
And he is from Japan.
GAM in those 2 trades, which is the all-powerful GAM. And they released, if we want to jump into that kind of quick, they released the general allocation money for 2025.
And this is with all those trades. There's like 4,000 trades mixed into this. And basically, Atlanta had $6.5 million, which is such a Garth thing to do, right? Garth Lagerwey's down there now. If you forgot, he's the old guy for RSL who was our GM when we were in our glory days, winning cups and being really good. He's in Atlanta now, and they have $6.5 million in GAM, and they're poised to make some moves across the league. So.
Austin, $3 million. Chicago has 2.9. If you were curious about Real Salt Lake, we have 4.133765.
Which is about, I don't know, 8th or so. But
yeah,
there's
it's
a lot
up there.
Of teams
That's a lot of money. San Diego, the expansion team, has $5 million to play with.
Portland has none. They have 2.
Yeah. $2 million.
Somebody else has 2.
I think it was
There's only
Chicago.
A couple teams with 2. Yeah.
Charlotte, 2.9. Chicago, 2.9.
Houston only has 2.
Yeah, there's a few with only 2 because trying to win now. I don't know. It's a weird number.
And we talked about it. We'll dive deeper into the RSL roster and all of that, and the schedule and our predictions later on as we get closer to the start of the season. But with the player moves the RSL made, they also have well over $2 million in freed up salary from the players that they let go.
Yeah, and it looks like they brought in Little Wolf, and he's Tyler Wolf. Nice name.
From Atlanta.
Big T. Came over from Atlanta, and they got $50,000 of GAM from us.
Yeah, that Garth drives a hard bargain.
And he's contracted through 26 with the traditional MLS option.
He's a forward, right?
27-28. Yeah, he's an attacking probably with us outside forward or second forward withdrawn winger.
Is this a Rubio Rubin replacement, you feel?
I would say he's kind of similar to that. He's not a big dude. He's not even as big as his dad was.
Yeah.
But speedy, shifty, and occasionally looks like a really good player. And sometimes looks like he doesn't belong in the field. But he's young, so he's 21. Right?
Yeah, I saw that. And
still potential in there.
I didn't know anything about him.
I knew a lot more about his dad. Josh scored some really cool MLS goals, and
he's got more than one kid playing in Major League Soccer.
Yeah, and Josh Wolf, the dad, he also played a lot of games with the national team. I think he had 40, 50 caps with the national team, so he played for a while. Him and Ante Razov were the kind of the two strikers for a while. He was the speedy guy. Razov was the lay him off guy, and now Razov, I think, is on LAFC staff.
61 career MLS appearances, 7 goals for Atlanta.
Yeah, so he's appeared a lot, but most of those are reserve appearances, right?
And he played a lot for MLS Next, scored 7 goals in 20 games. So probably a good prospect that could probably fit in well here. We'll see.
Yeah, get some time with the youngins, the Monarchs, and then maybe break into the first team.
Maybe he's like a Benji Michel replacement.
Like that,
Get a guy on a roster, give him a shot. Injuries, obviously, we're going
potential up and comer.
We're going to
have some right off the bat. The first month and a half, some schedule congestion, so there's probably some minutes there for some young players to take advantage of.
He's the older brother, right? It says, there it is, Tyler's brother, Owen. He plays for Austin. He's still on the roster, even though his dad's not the coach anymore. Oof. Which he has a little more bite to him. He's more of a defensive-ish player. Owen is.
And he said he's going to hold his breath until they hire his dad back.
Oh, he's going to pout? Hide in the corner?
No, my daddy back. He's kidding. He's probably glad. Nobody wants to play for their dad, right?
I don't know, man. Depends. I mean,
you got to let me go. Let me grow. Spread my wings.
Another thing that got added to us was Forster Ajago. So he is part of the re-entry draft. Did you guys see that?
I did hear about that.
So Forster Ajago was acquired through Nashville in the re-entry draft, but I am unfamiliar with what the re-entry draft is.
So basically anyone who's out of contract can have their... Well,
you can be under contract, right?
When you're out of contract, you have... usually a club option to purchase you, right? Mm-hmm. If the club doesn't pick up your option, then you go to the league. And if anyone in the league picks you up at that allocation, they go in order. Mm-hmm. And they're like, hey, anybody over here? You want anybody that's available? You can pick up their contract. They don't have to renegotiate contracts, and you just put them on your team now. Right?
Oh, nice.
So first stage, they have to pick him up under his current contract.
Yeah.
This next stage,
second stage,
they would pick him up, and then they would negotiate a new contract.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So they must have felt that he had some value because they picked him up in the first stage.
He's a striker. He's from Ghana. So apparently he could be something.
Yeah.
We don't know.
But again, let's get somebody who's potentially exciting, right? I think that's what that guy brings.
Yeah.
I think he's a speed guy and exciting player. And I don't know if we're the speediest anymore.
No, we could use some speed.
And also, putting Anderson Julio through this big of a work schedule and his, hamstrings, for some reason that guy, I don't know what's up with his hamstrings, man.
Are you worried about him?
I'm worried about him, man.
Yeah?
I'm worried about this next season. I think he's going to get some sort of, knock, something. Something's going to put him on the bench for a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then it drops off dramatically from Chicho to...
Diogo, because, that's another thing I want to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, so if you know me, if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, one thing I hated about Pablo was the 3-5-2. I hated it. It was the bane of all my existence. But then I saw an attacking 3-5-2. And I saw it in the Premier League.
Any specific club you want to talk about?
No, I don't want to talk about it. No? You can just Google somebody in the Premier League that does 3-5-2.
Any team in the Premier League.
Yeah, just any team that does a 3-5-2.
It's like a run and gun offense. It's like a run and gun offense.
Is this Liverpool you're talking about? Is that what you like?
No.
Liverpool's playing well with a kind of a 3-back line.
Yes.
Alexander-Arnold gets up the field.
But seeing our roster and who we have, the 3-5-2 looks delicious. Diogo and Chicho side by side.
Up top.
Yep. Then we got Luna, we got Mark Zook. Then we got our 3 midfield guys, Ruiz, Anelli, Ojeda, running like a triangle, triple pivot, something. And then we got our back 3, Vera, Glad, Brown now, and Quinton that we can rotate in through. And it looks like that would be a very, very good formation for us going forward. What do you think about that?
My only worry with a 3-man back line is the corner wing play. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times the 3-back guys don't want to run balls down into the corner.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if they get beat, there's a ton of space in behind. So unless it's like Anelli's that track back guy, you know, which he does a great job of doing, and so does the other 3,
Ojeda?
You know.
Well, I just think Ojeda and Anelli are CDMs, like actual defensive mids, and then Ruiz is that center attacking mid. Like that becomes more like it could be 7 guys up front, and then all of a sudden 5 guys out back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It could be exciting. Could.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Stupid Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool's just getting great results.
Yeah, it's because Mo Salah, dude. That guy
just
he changes his hairstyle.
He cuts his hair and he gets better.
No, he got
supposed
hair
to be like Samson.
No.
He got a transplant. There's no way his hairline was perfectly straight all the way over to there.
No, he definitely.
Yeah, he went off of Instagram for like 2 months.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden he came back and he's got hair,
and it's all short because he's all long hair. All of a sudden, moved forward 2 inches. What?
Yeah,
and also, he went to Turkey.
It's only like $2,500, guys.
Yeah, but it's Turkey. No,
Turkey, yeah.
That's how they like their name pronounced.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just like Costa de Ivory doesn't like to be called the Ivory Coast. But I don't speak French, so I just call it Costa de Ivory, which sounds like
it's Costa d'Ivoire.
Yeah, but I don't.
I met someone
from. Know. But they prefer that.
Cote d'Ivoire.
Well, I was just gonna say another good yarn year, and you might be able to go to Turkey.
Yeah,
Turkey, eh? Just pretend you're Canadian when you say it.
But I would just get the ham hocks transplant.
What's that? Oh,
the big sideburns.
Hair on your face, the big sideburns.
Yeah.
How do you spell that one? Ham hocks?
Don't do it, dude.
Ham hocks.
Don't do it.
I'm just writing down all the jokes for today.
Yeah.
We got the Messi in Salt Lake, the bus joke, Thomas Gomez.
I want to be
hold his breath. Ham hocks. I mean, these are bangers.
I want to be able to pull off that.
People are literally they've just fallen off the couch. They're literally listening like Brandt. Ham hocks.
Oh, that Brandt with his ham hocks.
So funny. He doesn't
I want to be able to pull off those sepia-toned photographs when you're wandering through.
Dude, I need to,
wandering through lagoon and you put on your
AI for this podcast because you're throwing out words that haven't been like heard of since like the 1800s.
I'm sorry.
Back to
I failed you. I didn't introduce you to like books and stuff.
Oh,
no,
man, rough.
So anyway,
you didn't even introduce me to soccer.
Your mom did that for spite.
Yeah. Harsh. Oh, how the turntables have turned.
Yeah,
how the turntables. Speaking of ratings, though, what about the ratings for MLS Cup?
I thought it was sad.
So MLS did some weird stuff. First of all, this was the first year with all Apple all the time, right? Or is it second year, right?
No,
I think it was the first year.
It's the first year.
First year, all Apple all the time.
No, it's the second year.
Second year, all Apple all the time. But the first year, they gave away a lot of the games, and they gave away MLS Cup. You just had to have the Apple app. You could just log on. And
that's right. It was split, yeah.
This year, they put it on Fox, and they announced it like a week before.
Why would you put it on Fox?
Oh my gosh, nobody watched. Duh.
It's on Fox.
People have to plan to watch stuff like this, right? Like, it's MLS Cup. Like, yeah, you put it on Fox, but like, you were up against the SEC championship. You know what I mean?
There was a lot of things.
It was really in the middle of the day. It was like a 2 p.m. Mountain Time kick.
Yeah.
Like It wasn't a primetime game. It was in LA.
2 p.m.
It was 1 p.m. in LA.
Yeah, I as a Major League Soccer fan, I was looking forward to watching it, and I put out. I said, "Oh, let's do a tweet, and get a poll of who's going to win the game." And then I started looking at it, and it's like, "Oh, the game starts in half an hour. Oh, what good is this?"
Yeah, it was strange, and the problem with it also is that they kind of shot themselves in the foot with all this, like, "Oh, when can Fox take it?" and negotiations, and it went too long, and then they finally got it out there, and now it's like. You did all this moving and shaking to make it happen, and then Fox told everybody how bad it performed, and I'm like, dude, you shot yourself in the foot. You gave him a reason to complain.
Fox. You shouldn't give anything there.
Right, you didn't really owe him anything, right? Stream the whole thing, give it away.
Dude, it should just be strictly Apple.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the cleanest system. If people are going to be an MLS fan, they're just going to get Apple.
It's for 10 years. Like, get on board, bro. Yeah. Like, I don't have an Apple device. Like, I'm one of the few people in the world that it's like, no, Google, please.
Yeah, man. See, that's why we don't ever chat. Like, we don't text.
But guess what? Like, I'm good with that. And finally, Google and Apple figured out a strategy to allow the app on my phone. So,
nice.
Yeah, I can get the app on my Google phone now. So I watch the games on my phone if I am out and about or whatever, right? Like,
So the ratings were last year, LAFC and C-Bus, 890,000 were watching, down to 468,000, which...
Not even 1 million people were watching.
No. I think it's more if you add the app and stuff. And Apple is notorious for not releasing their streaming numbers, so it could have been more. Yeah. But also, too, I would expect...
I watched that on the Apple TV broadcast. Right?
I guess I was curious to see, but I don't think they're going to change. I think people were hoping that Apple would add a few more times during the day to watch the games, but if they're going to stick it with...
at 7 or whatever.
Well, April has a 2:30 p.m., but we'll see.
Which makes sense for April and early February to have them in the middle of the day.
8:30,
the heat of the day.
Oh, it's still kind of like all over the place.
So we'll see. I think that's been one of the complaints.
No, they're all at 7:30.
Oh, just different time zones.
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, really,
I like Apple
for the standard working man. Having all the games 7:30. That works. That works. It's clean. It's simple.
It's hard to compete with like youth soccer, especially here in our market.
Oh yeah.
Right. Trey brings that up. Like when you have a Saturday afternoon game, you don't get the clubs to come and their parents, right? They're going to watch their kid rather than to come to watch Real,
or they're just coming to watch Real instead of their kid because, half those kids are pretty awful kids. Yeah, they're swearing at refs and stuff. It's just not good. They're not even cleaning their room. You know what I mean?
Seriously, keep it tidy, kids.
Seriously.
But I do like Apple. I like the whole thing. I think it's been great. I think the production, for the most part, has been good. I mean, they're working out some kinks. I think they used MLS. They were going to go some of the other leagues. I think the NFL is coming up, not the NBA. One thing I wanted to point out, too, is that talking about ratings, the NBA has been really struggling.
No way!
Down 35%. In some areas.
That's crazy.
And the NHL is down 28%. So I think it's, it's just kind of a cycle.
The Jazz are having a rough year, right? They're in a rebuilding.
Well, I think it's because
so the rest of the
basketball is becoming just so dumb.
Lame.
Yeah.
Like a foul for blowing somebody a kiss, you get like this. Every time you watch it, you're like, that's not a foul. Okay, why is this a foul?
And then another guy jumps on another guy's back, and that's not a foul.
Yeah,
it's so interpretive, and then it's like football was a few years ago, the no fun league when they were referring to the NFL as that, right? And the NBA is kind of turning into that too. Like, have fun, bro. It's a sport. Well, and let's see some, the attitude,
style of play has really changed. It's just there was a clip I saw today. They were using between the Suns and the Lakers, and it's just 140-foot three back and forth. Oh, he's taking a three break. He's taking a three, and the focus on the 3-pointers, and which are exciting, but if you're not going to make them, it's like watching a YMCA game or something.
Chuck it around and chuck it at the hole.
Yeah, it's just really boring.
Might as well just watch cornhole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same distance every time.
I watched the Jazz game tonight. It ended right before I came to the podcast, and Detroit, it was like they were going back to their old ways of like thuggery. They tried to start fights with the Jazz. They were like
That's good.
2 guys tossed out.
The Jazz deserve that. You
At
know
least
why?
there was a little excitement, you know?
They have always disappointed us.
The Jazz?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there can only ever be one champion in any given year. And there's how many teams in the NBA?
Oh, too many.
Yeah.
We should get rid of some.
How about
They
the
should
Celtics?
do
We don't need them
promotion and
anymore.
relegation.
Get rid of the Lakers.
Oh, we should have promotion relegation in
Promo
basketball.
and reg.
That would
Oh
change
my
the
gosh.
whole dynamic. If you had
Yeah.
2 leagues, you just have it called it upper and lower, and you just had instead of like east, west, north, south.
Yeah, the NBA needs to
adjacent-
get on board with this. Yeah.
Seriously, if you had an upper league and a lower league, and like
And pretty soon the
top
Wichita,
4 teams would move
whatever.
up, bottom 4.
Yeah.
it's a whole different. It's a
Yeah.
whole different entity.
Toronto's playing in the sub league. They're just
Dude.
lighting everybody up.
Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that would be it.
So before we get too far away from this, I had a question related to Real Salt Lake, and it's the Christmas season. It's December 19th when we're recording this, and we'll get it out this week before before Santa makes it here.
That's
Yep.
what you think.
Knock on wood. Hopefully, our crack IT team will get it out.
Both of us?
Oh yeah.
You're on crack.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I don't get it. What's your question?
What if you could give one gift to Real Salt Lake for Christmas this year? What would it be?
Brennan.
Well, I know what I'm going to give them next year.
What?
A lot more of my time.
Yeah?
Yeah, just Trey, all them. Just gonna.
Giving them all your time and effort.
I'm gonna be at almost every game. Gonna be at practice. Like, gonna go full.
Full
Awesome.
scout?
Yeah, full scout. You know, full like chit chatting, showing off my humor, like my father.
You going to get your merit badges there,
Well,
scout?
yeah, I'm gonna do interviews with those ham hocks. You know what I'm talking about? Those ham hocks.
It's
gonna be a
the
riot.
I'll get you the hat. With
give me the little hat?
with the little press thing on the
Yeah,
side.
dude.
It says press. That's what we should. We should get that hat that says press.
So stupid.
It has a button underneath it. So you can
And yeah, we got to talk like this really fast. We got to talk really fast. Yeah, what do you say?
No, we need to get the mics that you put up to your lip like this, and then we interview like that. Do you know, like in the British,
yeah.
the British mics, they put it right up against their lip,
Yeah.
and that's how they talk. They're like, yeah. Okay,
Oh, the
blah,
one
blah,
that's
blah.
like metal and it has like, so you get the full depth of their voice.
Yeah,
like this.
exactly. We're
Yeah.
gonna rock one of those.
We should get the round one like on what's the
$1 Million Baby.
no the one
The
with
Wrexham guy?
the movie with George Clooney. I am a man of
Oh, yeah, where he
Oh.
sings into a can.
Oh,
yeah.
and it's based on whatchamacallit?
Iliad.
The Odyssey.
And
The Iliad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, brother, where
the-
art thou?
Yeah.
The round one?
Flick.
RUNNOFT.
He
round
done
one.
runned off.
Oh, the round one, yeah.
Yeah, get that microphone.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like it's kind of like
Yeah,
that.
like it rocking into a tin can.
Yeah, get one of those, and then we'll take a typewriter to the press.
Do you see how excited he just got? This is so
Oh yeah, the
fun.
press box. gets
Hey,
me
he's on
excited.
fire, man.
I know, this is nice.
We got new
I
press reporter.
do have a blue portable typewriter.
You should be the sideline
With the
reporter,
case.
Brandt. You should be the sideline reporter. That'd be awesome.
Ting, 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 ting.
That'd be
I should
great.
take that.
Yeah, you should.
Now down to Brandt for the on-field discussion. Brandt, take it away. Now,
So, hey,
Jasper Lawfulson here. Why'd you get Jasper? He's not even in the game. Yeah, he's in town, though. We just thought it'd be great.
He's playing like he's trying to get his bail bonds. Ching, 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 ching.
buy war bonds.
Oh, man.
I had to
All right,
get a
so
trench coat and all that.
What's the gift you're going to give, Brandt?
He's given time. You know, if I could give them one thing, it would be a center back, a solid.
Oh, I see what
Center
you did there.
back.
See, I was doing something from the heart. You're
Yeah.
doing something from like
They
you're
get
not
a lot of my
satisfied
time.
with the team.
No, if I could say, hey, this is the gift you get. It is a world class quality center back because if
Virgil
you're-
van Dyke.
Just Virgil van Dyke, Science for RSL.
Yeah, if you're gonna go to that 3-back system, we need a solid center back there.
Don't do it.
I don't know that I would have confidence with Vera and Glad as our.
I think we're already at that,
on,
though. I mean,
man. On a scale of 1 to 10, realistically, ignoring the spit, How bad did Glad and Vera realistically do?
Not bad.
Not bad. At all.
Not bad.
Like, if you look around the league, they did pretty good.
They're a pretty good center
and
back.
I think I've agreed with you.
I know.
And Quentin's a good young backup.
Absolutely, man.
And Brown is an up-and-comer.
I'm just saying that neither one of those guys is an Olave.
No,
Is that what you want? You want Olave back?
I want a player.
The softest hands
he's
I've
laying
ever.
right there.
Okay, the
I
biggest
want
guy with
a
the softest
center
hands.
back.
Like it was probably the creepiest thing. Oh my gosh! Go to meet the guy, and I'm like, oh, this is Olave, sick, dude. What's up, man? And I'm like, lotion? What is this?
His
and
hands are baby soft.
His hand just like enveloped my hand, and I think he stole my watch because he was so crafty. But it was so soft. I was like, dude, man, you are not in
It's
like
quite the regimen.
He doesn't work with his hands very
And
much.
he has the same haircut as me, but it wears different on him.
I know he's more stoic with it. You know what I mean? You know,
I think
it's crazy.
for me, there is one position that would
Bottom. No, sorry.
missionary. Y'all.
What are you guys talking about?
The one position. I think if there's one position, if you had, not Ronaldo or Messi, but a world-class quality, top of the league player, I think center back for Real Salt Lake would have the biggest impact.
Okay, center back. So he's gonna say the one piece that he's gonna add if he had no money, like no restriction on money, he's gonna say center back.
He adds Virgil van Dijk.
Center back. Perfect.
Or somebody like that.
What, Tyler? What would you add?
Well,
I would add-
what's your gift?
No.
To Real Salt Lake.
That's my gift.
any
That's
money.
my gift is a goalkeeper.
See,
I love Zach McMath. He's a great dude. And he did have a heck of a playoff. But games are won and lost at the goalkeeper position. And we lost too many games this year just because our keepers didn't do their jobs.
They didn't
right.
keep.
Right. Like, you can make a mistake and still be a good keeper. But you make 5 mistakes that lead to losses or draws. Like, no. We can't have that. That would have been the biggest point difference this past year. So that's what I would want to fix next year.
So we have striker. We've never spent that much money on a striker before. We got him, and we also have good help.
Yeah, I think up top.
Wingers. We are so set on wingers.
Yeah.
Mark Zook is turning into something. Luna is a godchild. Set midfield, like actual midfield, we got more than we need.
Yep.
And they're quality.
Abundance.
Back line, if we're running a 4-back line, we're completely set.
We're set.
Goalkeeper, if we have to rotate goalkeepers, there is something going on. So I do think goalkeeper, even though I really enjoy Zach McMath.
Yeah.
I do.
As a human, he's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, playoff Zach McMath?
Yeah. Playoff Zach McMath, we'll take that guy every time.
Absolutely, every time.
But
Well,
also, like, we talked to him and kind of off the record a little bit at the Souls for Shoes kid
Well,
thing.
we're on record
We're
right
on the
now.
Souls.
We're on record.
Right,
Can we say this on record?
Well, I mean,
In general.
I'm not quoting him directly. I'm giving the general feeling that he gave us.
Right.
Which is...
Oh, we didn't have a deep conversation with him
No,
either.
but we were just talking
It was
about like
superficial,
how tough it is to come back from certain things. We were trying to be relatable, like, hey man, like how was that to like?
I stubbed my toe once, and it took me a while to get back to
Yeah,
running
but like
form.
20,000 people weren't watching me stub my toe and fall
True.
on my face, right? So it's way less embarrassing, right? So I'm like, dude, how's it to come back from that and then have such a cool playoff performance? Do you kind of feel like take that, haters and stuff? And he's like, no, I don't get too caught up in that. It's just more about like, for me, it was like they were asking me to come out a lot, and I haven't done that much in my career. And when the playoffs came and we were down a player in the back, they were just like, stay home and do what you do best. Mm-hmm. And they let me play the way I play best, and that's why I feel like I did
way better
in the playoffs.
I agree with that.
And I'm like, that makes a ton of sense.
I think 75% of his mistakes were because he had to come out and he had to be that sweeper, and that's
Sweeper keeper, yeah.
That's definitely not him.
Nope.
And I do think it's obvious that it's a difficult situation for both keepers when you're rotating them, even if it is scheduled. But so that could be difficult. Also, if you have a stout, no one is arguing that RSL has the best 2 center backs in the league.
Oh, I think we do.
I think we have some quality center backs, but if we had someone like an Olave at that level,
What's the difference between Olave and Vera?
Oh, night and day.
What's the difference, though?
Olave was big, better on the inside. He's a bigger guy, and he was
way more physical,
better with his feet, and
faster.
One of the fastest players on the team. If you watch the highlight with Olave in the MLS All-Star game with Wayne Rooney,
he's eating everybody's lunch, and
he came in and came out of nowhere, and you can see Wayne Rooney go like
what?
Who is this?
Yeah.
So Olave, neither one of those, Glad or Vera.
But what's the trade-off? What's the good thing you get with Vera that you don't get, that you wouldn't have with Olave?
Maybe a little more bite.
More offensive-minded.
And more offensive-minded. Yeah. So if we're progressing towards a more offensive-minded, he's had some bangers. And I'm still so pissed at freaking Minnesota. Torrey calling off the freaking goal.
Okay, yeah, that's the most disappointing thing of the 2024 season.
Is that they called back that goal?
Freaking what's her last name? Penso?
Yeah,
Tori Penso. She had 2 subpar games with RSL.
Oh yeah,
that cost us points.
What's happening at home?
I
don't know.
They just had a goal scored like this where the guy ducked and it went in. It just happened. I think it was Real Madrid.
Yeah. I saw. Was it Jude? Tucked down.
He ducked the ball. He didn't touch it, and you could have judged that he
interfered with play.
That he could have possibly.
In his defense, if you watch the replay, he did duck quite early.
But so did our guy, right? Like, our guys were not in the way of the keeper blocking that. There's no way you call back that banger of a goal.
And
I hate that rule. If that's the way they're interpreting it.
And I agree with you guys that there's some quality there. But I think that if we had just 1 notch up, 2 notch up on that back line, it also frees up the goalkeeper, right? I don't know that Gavin or Zach McMath really felt comfortable with the players in front of him a lot of the time.
Especially on set pieces, I felt like there was quite a bit of... Marking was a little different for me, because we've usually been in the past. Marking was really easy.
We're always man to man, and this year we did some zonal marking, and I think it threw off.
It messed us up.
Yeah, I think it did.
Towards later in the season, it seemed like we got opened up quite a bit.
There was just something back there. The right backs, we had the right back by committee.
Yeah.
So I just think that there's just something right there. If you're looking at the team, where else are you going to improve?
That was the other thing. The other place I want to improve, whoever is the physical therapist. Because
so we quit having so many.
Yeah, if we can just get the best who can do preventative maintenance,
consistency.
Yeah, whatever you can do to solve that would be fantastic.
Yeah, and you hate to see players that have taken off some time to heal, and then they come back. And then they get injured again, and it's like,
well, we do a good job.
A couple times.
Sorry.
Glad a couple times. No, you never. You want to stay healthy, obviously, but then if we can stack some depth behind those guys, I think we'll be fine. But we said that, and then down the stretch we couldn't score goals, right? So that was weird. But if we could get Chicho back to just normal, bling bling, that would be my first choice over goalkeeper. If we could get first half Chicho back, that would be actually my first choice. Now that I think about it,
I don't know if you guys know this, but goals change games.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've never heard that before. Write that one down, Brennan.
Right. Goals change games.
Yeah, so I'll have to think about that. That's philosophical.
Getting really excited. Did you guys watch? Oh, we talked about the major.
Did
MLS
you know Cup? That timing changes jokes?
It's the key to comedy.
Yeah! That was good, brother.
Thank you.
Good.
I
like that. Yeah.
You're welcome. Sorry, anyways, go ahead.
Anything else you want to chat about? I mean, the preseason's going to be here before we know it. I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season.
Do you think we make any changes in the upcoming window? Because we've been in revamp mode for 4 to 6 different, since the ownership group changed, right? Mm-hmm. We've brought in 2 to 3 players every single transfer window.
Brilliant, by the way.
But now the whole team's revamped except the keeper position. Is that what's next?
Well, we just saw them sign a couple of offensive players. Maybe if they do something in the window, is it going to be defensively focused?
Or do they say, hey, we got 3 studs at center defensive mid. Let's see if we can swap one of them out for somebody else around the league?
The one thing that I wish we had insider information on was the health of Pablo Ruiz.
Yeah.
Based on his income and how influential he was before his injury, I think that is a huge dictator of which direction the team's going to go. Because if he's feeling it, they're liking him, and he's going to be in that same form, that means we're going to alleviate the stress on the top and allow us to we can focus on the defense now. But if Pablo is not so, or Ruiz is not so healthy, we don't know for sure.
That is a big question.
That's going to change quite a bit of the team.
Yeah. And honestly, like, he doesn't have the bite that Ojeda has and that Anelli has. Like, Anelli's just that physical presence. And
just the possession.
And
the time on the ball.
He keeps his head, right? Ruiz is fiery. And that's not bad. It's just different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do want to see us more attacking outside the 18. Like, I want us to see more shots, less crosses and all that stuff. Like, I love Ruiz's left foot, especially because he got it under control. It used to be a field goal every single time. But now, before he was gone, it was just curling in.
Right.
Nice.
But is that mental or is that physical? And is that going to take time to get back? You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Injuries change players.
Yeah.
Maybe we should write that one down, too.
Injuries
change.
You know what they also change? You know what injuries also change?
What's that?
Jokes.
That hurts. That hurts.
That
hurts me deep.
That one was a bad.
Okay. All right. So, should we get to the important stuff?
You're the host. Why do you ask rhetorical questions?
Because I'm the host. Let's
Should we
get to Come On Crawley update.
We already did all the
I'm-
important stuff.
I
We're doing a Come On Crawley
your
update?
constant information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what grinds my gears? Bringing back an
Constant-
old one there.
Here's an affirmation.
Good.
You guys ready? Mm-hmm. Momentum is messy.
Momentum is messy. Do you know what's a really good one that I live by?
What's that?
Power is smooth, and smooth is power. Ooh. That's how I live my tennis life.
Nice.
Anyways, let's go to the Come On Crawley update.
All right, we're in the relegation zone.
Oh, man! Come on,
No! Who would have thought that?
man.
21st out of 24?
You sell 80% of your players and there's a problem?
I saw.
They've sold 80% of their team?
Oh, dude.
About, yeah.
The winning team,
Yeah.
none of them are there.
None?
Well, there's only a couple.
and the coach is gone.
Yeah.
Liam. Why did you
whole
get rid
staff?
of Liam?
Oh, Liam Kelly, and also, Jeremy Kelly's still there. Deion Conroy, the
McGuire's
captain,
gone.
is struggling with injuries. Supposed to be coming back.
I'm struggling with trying to find a hero on the team.
Doesn't want to play for the club anymore. He's been a captain.
boy.
Deion Conroy, I saw a rumor today that he might be headed to Birmingham in the window, or Ronan Darcy, excuse me.
Ronan.
So there's only a
love
couple
that
of
name.
players left from that team, but Rob Elliott has kind of turned them around. They've been scoring goals. They've been scoring goals. I watched the last game. They beat Charlton. They had a good run there. They had like 4 or 5 games without a loss. But then they played.
They're third to last in goal differential, minus 12. Ugh.
Yeah, that's not good. But the last game, who did they play?
Tie.
I was watching that game. They beat Charlton, then they played a game and they went down 2-0 against Peterborough. And then they came back 2-2, and then they went down 3-2. Then they tied 3-3, and then Peterborough won 4-3. So it was a 7-game thriller. And Crawley Town scored all of their goals when I stopped watching.
Oh,
It was
the deciding
hilarious.
factor, huh?
Yeah, so I'm watching the game. Peterborough scores twice, and thought, oh man. Saturday morning, I walk up, come back, and we scored. Then I walk out and tell Alicia, my wife, oh hey, I walked out and they scored. And then I walk back in. Oh hey, they scored again.
Has everything to do with you.
Yeah, that's why I asked
That's-
Gary.
Comedy of jokes.
Tell me what I need to do, Gary. Do I just stop watching this game? Because it was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of pressure. But we are playing. They play better. They have a very fun style. They just don't play defense. It sounds like a theme, huh?
Not when you're in the room.
That's right. So
You are so influential.
Yeah.
Being clear out here.
Right?
It is.
You know,
So
there's
far
that
away.
connection, that bond.
no one
that you
has
have.
superstitions. No one else
No.
has any
have to change your
superstitions.
I don't have a single
Mr.
superstition.
I mow the lawn when RSL sucks.
No, that's
I
just a
just do that
frustration.
to get my rage out.
Yeah, that's Rage Against the Machine, man.
Right? Yeah.
It was just funny. I'm usually not that way, but I just walked out and they scored. And thought,
Yeah.
it was just weird. I'm not usually that superstitious
Yeah.
when it comes to that. So we are playing well, but they do have Birmingham on Monday, and then
Oh, that's not going to be good.
they play on Monday and like the 26th. It's really weird. So, but it has been fun to watch them. They're starting to turn the corner. And
Wait, hold on. How many times
Speaking of
during
turning
this Come On Crawley update on all these episodes have you said that they're turning things around? Because
every
it almost,
single
it honestly,
this year.
it honestly
Well,
looks
Well,
like
they only go
every-
two directions.
Yeah.
They either go up or down. They're never just kind of like hanging out.
It's just like a broken record, you know?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about Real Salt Lake centric teams, Crystal Palace,
Ooh,
same ownership group as Real Salt Lake.
dude, they almost
They almost took
had
out
you.
Arsenal.
had you. I was watching the first goal, which happened, what, in like 6 minutes, 4 minutes or something like that?
He just shoved Kiwior
Oh,
aside
dude.
like he's a little boy.
Like
Go
it was
away, little boy.
1990s
I
all
am
over again.
Mateta. I am a man.
Did they have their black kid on?
No,
No,
yellow.
they had their gross yellow one that's like, there's nothing. It's
just
like
so
one little
yellow.
thing there, and
One-
it's not even like a
It's-
kit.
no,
it's
it's-
like a Under Armour shirt. Do you know what I mean? Like where it's that
It's
thin,
ugly. Yeah,
like body tight
weird.
almost.
Yeah.
Just a really bad yellow.
It looks awkward on
Wasn't it-
Mateta too.
2-1.
3-2.
Oh, but you know
Gabriel
what
Jesus had a hat trick.
We're gonna have a
Guy
serious
can
talk
finally
here.
kick the ball in the net
Okay.
when it's an EPL
No,
Cup.
no. Okay,
Goodness
Arteta.
sakes.
This is so annoying. I was all
he
like
play
for
the
the Gunners, you know, like, hey, set pieces, do your thing. That's good. You got
Yeah,
something
the
working
whole
for you.
push the goalie.
Until
Yeah.
I watch what you do to the goalie. And now you can sit here and say, oh, this is stupid that our goal, the Real Salt Lake goal, didn't count because he was in the way, blah, 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 blah. Your Gunners purposely don't play the ball, affect the goalkeeper, get in their way, not playing at the ball whatsoever, to then shoot and score.
I totally agree. And it's so hard
hate
to
it.
catch.
I hate
I
it.
agree. It's
VAR
hard-
should be
it's
able
hard
to change
catch.
that.
Well, yeah, if like they bump the goalie and then the ball goes in the way they bumped him, but the idea, the concept behind it is you rattle the goalie, right? You go get to him before the ball's even kicked, and you throw him off whatever he's trying to do, and then once the ball's kicked, you don't do it anymore.
Literally, your
You
first set piece goal, homeboy literally had his back right into the goalie,
Yeah.
made it so he couldn't even move around him, and you score.
They didn't
That's
call
a
it.
VAR.
I thought they should have called it back. I thought they were
Oh,
going to call it back,
dude.
but they did not. But I also get that, right? Like, this is that whole thing that we hate. That's like when they're taking corner kicks and everybody's in there pulling and pushing and shoving each other, and you know, and it like it's a razor's edge between what's a red card and what's nothing. It's
Well,
like
I
the
think
weirdest thing in sport for me is like, okay, it's a corner kick. We're going to watch grown men all run into each other, headbutt, elbow, kick, knee, and then all of a sudden some guy gets a red card for one of those things.
It needs to be that if
No
the
consistency.
goalie is going for the ball, you know what I mean? Like if you're going to go for the ball, you can disrupt the goalie.
Right. Yeah.
But if you're not
because
going
you got
for
a right to go to the ball.
Yeah, but if you're not doing that at all, that's boxing out, and boxing
Agreed.
out is not allowed in soccer.
Agreed, that's a foul.
Yeah.
But
I
if
freaking
you
hate it.
miss it, you miss it. That's why I hate the whole call the banger back when, you know, we score.
So can I talk about my Man U?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay. So unfortunately, we lost to Tottenham. That was
Just
unlucky.
today.
But
Yeah.
also there was also a freeze frame of the goal, one of the goals, and I did not agree with it.
Okay. Fair.
But
you got Olympic code too.
oh yeah, that was brilliant. that was
nuts.
that was delicious.
That was a
that was one of
really
those I was
cool
like,
goal. You're like, that was scored against us. All right, fine.
So
Yeah.
like I'm totally cool with losing. But I have to say, I am so excited for Amad Diallo.
Yeah.
Like
That guy can play.
He is making me so excited. He's kind of giving me when I first saw Ronaldo for the first time when he was coming out of Sporting. Like he has that tenacity without all the like. There's tons of negative around it. You know, changing coaching staff, all this mumbo jumbo, tons of negative in the press, and like I've heard like also in trainings that things are a little off. That's why Marcus Rashford and Garnacho weren't playing because they were doing some dumb stuff.
Right.
But among all that craziness, he's just playing football.
Yeah.
And he's just good.
And he's exciting.
Yeah. And he's got that fire. And that was what Ronaldo was. And it's like, oh my gosh, this guy is going to be brilliant. So like, I don't even care that we lost.
Brilliant.
I don't care if we lost.
Play the kid.
Right now, with Amarim and Diallo and how we're making things move, very, very excited for this. And also we kicked Man City's butt. So.
But Man, you were sitting on 22 points in 18th place. Oh, 13th, sorry. 13th place. Yeah.
And the Crystal Palace black kit.
Crystal Palace black kit is tiggity tight. That's what RSL should do. The black kit with a red and blue stripe like that. Or yellow.
So
absolutely.
Right.
My physical therapist
down the middle.
brought this to our attention. It's so funny. If you go online right now, you go to try to buy an RSL jersey, you're going to spend $175, right? They don't make replicas.
Right.
You can go and get a Premier League one for like $60.
Yeah, even the top ones are 95.
Yeah, like
full price.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, why are we double the Premier League?
Right, like the Premier League is like the best.
I was in the store and I was there with you, and we were looking at prices on stuff, and we were like, bro.
In the double XL side, what?
It doesn't even matter what size you are.
Oh, that's right. They don't
even
go up
the
in price.
smalls are like $200. I was like, what?
The RSL big and tall
Do we got a tailor back there?
Can you make this into a triple X for me?
You got the shirt and it had 4 lines.
The RSL tent section. No, but yeah.
Tent section?
Well,
Did you buy
I have a question?
Do they have a tent?
The tent section, for big guys.
Oh, I thought you meant like we could actually go camping. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
In my shirt, yeah. So,
got a
no,
Blackstone.
the question I have is, how much should a soccer scarf cost?
Oh, a soccer scarf, maybe $30.
10 to 15.
Yeah,
That's
like
what I think. But
not
like
$80.
$45.
Oh, really? It's $45.
the new ones, yeah.
At the RSL store, the RSL scarves, all of them were $45.
I want that guy, that really nice guy that was outside on the corner, and he had all those jerseys and all those scarves.
All the knockoff guy back?
You throw him a $20 bill, and you get some good merchandise. I want that guy back.
Guess what? That's why a lot of fans are getting a lot of backlash, and there's some team merch that's showing up as fan merch.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, people are ordering patches and putting them on other clothes, and that's totally legal. It's fine, right? You got to pay for the patch or whatever, but then you put it on whatever clothes you want, and now it's it's way cheaper.
Fan-made, yeah.
Fan-made art is kind of cool anyway. Like, I really don't love that direction from the team store. That's one of my least favorite things they've done over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Because they've made a lot of really cool in-stadium improvements. The whole naming of the fan section as the Riot is cool as heck. The corner was Krylak's corner when he was here. Now
we don't talk about that.
Right. We still love that guy, but, there's cool improvements we made with the new ownership group. It's been fantastic. That's the one thing where I'm like, duh.
Yeah, I used to.
Don't kill your fans.
We went into when I would go into the store, I would usually walk out with something, especially the women's section. They had.
That's because you always go in for the pins.
A killer.
I don't understand the pins, dude.
I'm not a pin dude, but they went in. They had a killer women's section.
What's on
Oh, my hats. Yeah. I don't have a lot of them, but they had a great women's section, and I would always find something.
The women. Yeah, I agree with that.
Now the hats are like $60, and it's just a hat. That hat.
This hat is. The RSL flat cap is $50, $52.
No, that's because that's a specialty item.
I know, but come on, there's nothing in there.
I really did love
for the
variety
average fan,
that they had
Yeah.
because it was more urban. It was more like from Salt Lake, like that style coming out. But I mean, in order to see the improvement on the field, we kind of gotta see different things outside the field.
I mean, and your least favorite thing is the $45 hot dog. So,
I do. I
Mine
really
is
do
the team
applaud.
store.
I don't care about the price of Domino's. I'm just so glad they got rid of the pizza that was there before.
Oh, okay.
That seemed like it was a crime because that didn't even taste like pizza.
No?
Like that
Was
dough.
that the Maverick pizza?
I don't know. It seemed worse than like school pizza. Like it was bad, and I was like, I'm spending like $12 on this. Yeah, those square ones.
I think it's kind of like complaining about your roster, your center backs not being, world class.
Tough.
When it's just like everything else is a 10 and this is an 8, and it's like, oh, we want to get it back to a 10 when it comes to the team store. But the selection is different. The prices have changed. You got to make money. I get that.
Yeah.
Now it's just like everyone else's too.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Well,
It's
let's
just
just
a
buy a
patch
patch
and
and let's
then-
start making our own stuff.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe they'll change it up. But like seriously, my wife has more RSL gear than I do because when I'd go in there was just so much great stuff in the women's section. And the last time I went in there was almost nothing. I was really disappointed. So I don't know what the direction is, but we'll see if it changes. It's the off season.
Yeah,
But it's
Arsenal
like,
are third. They're up to 30 points. They're still in the Carabao Cup. They beat the Crystal Palaces yesterday. So there's your come on Arsenal update for both people still listening this long into the podcast.
Any sponsors?
Yeah, who you got over there, Brennan?
I have Taylor Swift. She's been hitting me up again because her and
Again?
her and Kelsey are kind of in this little. They got a disagreement, so she wanted to come to Daddy. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even think she's that pretty. Ghost Pickle. If you like pickles and a little tennis sport called pickleball, hit up our friend Brandon Steinekert. Ghost Pickle, really cool designs, and it also just helps him. He does a lot of donations, a lot of charity work. He's a really good guy, and
He's a good dude.
and he makes me want to buy that Hyundai Santa Fe. Did you see he just got one?
No.
He went to Cali and got a
Hyundai
Hyundai
Santa Fe?
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good.
You say it because you think of the old Santa Fe.
Yeah.
You look at his Santa Fe and you're like, that's not a Hyundai Santa Fe.
Okay.
It's so good looking. Yeah.
Is it like when Elantra finally started looking like a car instead of a cart?
Yeah. That was my first car, was a Hyundai Elantra.
Was it the old kind that
It was
would
a
rattle when you turned
2001?
left?
2001. It was manual. It was green.
I was thinking the 90s.
Oh, no, not the 90s ones.
Yeah. We actually do have a sponsor, though. Mm-hmm. Elysium Financial. Hit up ut.myelysium.com.
Oh, you're supposed to tell me. I've already heard it.
You guys over there, definitely do it. What do Elysium professionals do for you? They help you with wills and trusts as part of the Pearson Butler family. They secure your family's future and find peace of mind. They did my will and trust. And even though you guys both have will in your name, you have not gone in and got your will yet. So
we haven't.
will you step up and get your will?
We have to wait and see what you gave us in your will. Like you never came clean.
Top secret. They do financial planning. They are a full-service law firm as well with tax preparation. They even do some real estate and mortgage stuff as well, along with business solutions. Vision and strategy can be tailored to your business structure and needs. Go to utah.myelysium.com and check out all the cool stuff that's in there. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff and a lot of cool testimonials. So hit that up. Learn more about Elysium. Get your will and trust in place and your financial future secure.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Elysium. Also, follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Rate us. Leave a review. We'd love that. Subscribe on YouTube channel and also on our Goals.tv channel. And we hope you all have an amazing holiday season, however you celebrate. Hanukkah usually falls around. I don't keep track of that, so I apologize for that. But it's usually sometime around here, Christmas.
8 crazy nights, that's all I know.
And, of course, the big one.
Christmas?
No, Festivus.
Oh.
Got to get your Festivus complaints in.
I thought you had to have a poll.
Around the pole or whatever it is.
Is that what it is? I forget it. George's
But
thing.
have an amazing holiday season no matter what. Can't thank you enough for listening, and we will see you soon.